Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
And welcome back. We have two members of the incredible team of our great sponsor, Head Down Products. You can find them at hdfirearms.com. We have Lee and Ryan, and I thank you guys for coming out to our studio here in Austin.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've been here for a little while. Just tell us, what do you think about the city of Austin?
It's great, very diverse, got a lot of culture to it. Had a really, really good time here so far. It's really, really more than what I thought.
So you were carrying and you encountered the TSA at the airport. What was that experience like for you guys?
That was pretty interesting. It was
actually a little easier than we thought getting into it. We were, being in the industry, we were a little nervous about it.
Right.
We've done it before, but more in the competition shooting realm and things like that. Yes. When we had everything lined up.
So it really wasn't too bad. I mean, the TSA was actually very professional. It's not the normal that you hear from TSA. Very cut and dry. I think I'll start carrying just about everywhere I go when it's more on a personal level of traveling.
Oh, there you go. And so let's start with that, since we're talking about this personal carry, because we hear a lot of people say, well, why do you need a firearm? If you have an incident, why don't you call the police? So let's say, there's somebody out there right now and they just see you guys, two big, tough guys. Why in the world would you need to carry a firearm?
Well, this is my particular position on it. I have the utmost respect for police officers. They do things that nobody else wants to do. They put themselves in danger every day. But the reality of it is, most of the time they're there to write the report, clean the mess up. You have to be self-sufficient. You have to be self-protected of yourself, or maybe a loved one, or maybe a fellow citizen that doesn't have the opportunity to protect themselves. You should exercise your Second Amendment right. You should take advantage of that, just as you do on your First Amendment.
One thing about, I think some people miss about the Second Amendment rights is, like Lee was saying, the police can't always be there. And, you have to take that responsibility for yourself to protect yourself, your family. And, the police can't keep you safe. Only we can do that. So, the firearm is the ultimate equalizer to be able to protect yourself, your property, and your loved ones. So, it shouldn't be a complicated argument, but somehow it gets twisted to be something that it isn't.
And Ryan, you were telling me off camera that you're also a part of a group.
Yeah, Armed Citizens United. Lee is a big part of that. We wanted to get, somebody who was in the manufacturing of, black rifles, which is, the scary weapon of, all of the media. They really demonize that particular firearm, and, Head Down Products is a big manufacturer. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to have that perspective from somebody like Lee and, really be able to understand, why is this being attacked? We understand that it doesn't make sense on our side, but how can we get this out to the public? How can we educate them? And how can we get the youth to understand the philosophies behind, protecting yourself and having the ability to have a firearm?
So in this modern time, let's just say what it is, since post-Sandy Hook, there's been a lot of demonization of the firearms industry, particularly the AR-15, also the AK-47 going to the Aurora shooting. And anybody who takes the time can go to the FBI's own statistics and see that those type of rifles, those military-style rifles, italicized style rifles, those are used in a very low percentage of crimes. You're much more likely to be beaten to death with a hammer or a blunt object, to be stabbed, than to be shot with a military-style rifle, especially a fully automatic one. Right. So since Sandy Hook, how has that affected your business, if any?
Well, we found that when the government came out and said they were going to ban, the ability for you to exercise your Second Amendment rights on specific weapons, our business got really, really busy. I think what we've really seen is people becoming more knowledgeable. Everybody wants to call an AR-15 an assault rifle. AR doesn't stand for assault rifle. So the media has really twisted everything in a mannerism to, as Ryan said, demonize it. As you said, to demonize, make it the most worst, horrible thing you can get. The reality of it is that weapon system is not dangerous per se. It's the person that's utilizing it. And that's what we really need to start focusing on is the people. And how do we fix that kind of situation? Because a car runs over somebody, is it the car's fault, or is it the gentleman that's behind the wheel that's drunk? Is that his fault? And
as you speak on that, I don't know if you guys recall Elliot Rodger, who's out in California. This guy, he shot people, he stabbed people, and he ran people over with his vehicle. But at the end of the day, nobody said, let's ban cars or knives. They said, let's ban the firearms.
Right. And another thing that's notable about that is he was called, if you remember the coverage of that, he was called a gunman, but he wasn't. Nobody said anything about hit and runs. Or, they didn't tag him with that. They tagged him with gunman, and that's strategic. That is purposeful, and they do that to demonize the gun, to continuously brainwash, as people have said, some high up political figures. They want to brainwash people to really demonize the tool and take no personal responsibility for action. This is a personal responsibility issue. If we can pick up a knife, a gun, get in our car, we can slaughter people at every turn. It's just a tool. I can set my gun that I'm carrying right now. I can set it right here, and nothing's going to happen.
Something else we've noticed since we started sponsoring the show is y'all welcomed us in like family. What we have seen is a lot more people out there really looking at, oh my gosh, the media scared me to death for so many years about this type of gun. Maybe it's not really that bad. Tell me about it. Educate me. And what we've really found is education is the key. And that's really one of the big things for Head Down is educating the people. We want you to know what you need to do. We want you to be safe with your firearm, not because it's a pistol or a rifle, just in general. We want you to be safe with your kids. We want you to be able to store them properly. That's things that I grew up as was common sense. People they weren't taught that way. They weren't raised that way. So we really want to push that to the public and let them understand that's what we need to do. You need to be educated about your gun. Just don't go buy one, get educated.
Yeah, and that's why I always tell people, don't just buy it and start packing it, take it out to the range.
100%.
Understand how it operates. Now, I know you guys have a lot of veterans who work over at Head Down, and I want to get your opinion on this recent shooting that we saw at the recruiting station. And the one we have here in Austin, myself and Joe Biggs went out there and carried, days afterward, trying to protect the people because nobody went out there to protect the guys. They dropped off a squad car and, as pretty much a scarecrow, and nobody was there to protect them. And of course, they couldn't protect themselves, even though it had a big sign that said armed forces. I'm like, they can't be armed in the armed forces.
Armed forces, but they don't have anything to arm themselves with.
And we've all seen the images, the gun-free zone sign with bullets all around it. As guys who have very close ties to the military community, what did that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel sad that our government impedes the ability for our soldiers to carry a weapon. The most highly trained individuals in the world, the finest military armed services we have, but they decline to let them carry weapons. It's really sad to me. It's actually insulting. I mean, these are the people that go overseas and fight for our rights and our way of life, but they can't be protected by themselves here. And given no one wants to really believe that this is America, we're not going to have to worry about this kind of thing. People, we have to worry about this now. You're seeing this time and time again with the attacks on police officers, military bases. It's here. We need to recognize that and address it.
The word that comes to mind is just stupidity for me. Like, just echoing the things that he's saying, but maybe in a different way. It's the armed services, it's the military, and they don't have the ability to protect themselves at their own place of employment. That's just stupid. There's no, you can talk till you're blue in the face about any kind of, reasoning or legislation or safety measures that you can try and make sense of. But the reality is things happen and the cops can't get there in time. And these gentlemen, these soldiers that protect us don't have the ability to protect themselves. It's ridiculous and stupid.
And they've done nothing since to prevent it.
No.
They've done nothing.
They were even threatening to charge one of the guys who was actually concealed carrying. Now, we're coming to the end, guys, so just briefly give us your final thoughts and also tell them about, anything at Head Down House coming down the pike.
Really appreciative of the Alex Jones listeners. Really thankful to have them. We're always going to do everything we can to push the Second Amendment and really support it.
The other thing that maybe I want to add to that is, we really want to push people to carry. Please come and buy, the AR-15s. They're very versatile weapon systems. But the other thing that we want to really encourage is we want people to carry.
Right.
Carry on your person. I mean, if you're in the grocery store, or you're at the movie theater, all these places where some of these things may take place, have the ability to defend yourself and your family. And the best way to do that, go out, get some training. We offer training. Learn how to use that firearm. Get yourself equipped with a personal handgun. Carry it. Know how to use it so you can defend yourself and your family.
I wanted to bring Weldon Henson in here briefly because we have a great sponsor. Boy, I've sure been enjoying the firearms that I've gotten from them. hdfirearms.com. That's Head Down Firearms. They have super high quality 223s, 308, you name it. It's called 5.56 technically in the 223 that are guns that would be $3,000 or $1,500. Guns that would be $1,500 or $900.
Well, the important thing to remember is that if you're not in the market to buy a brand new rifle, you have an AR-15, you have an AR-10 platform, 308 rifle. They've got everything you need to upgrade it. Buy a new part, buy a new trigger, buy a new muzzle brake, buy a new handrail. It's all an upgrade for your rifle because these are all superior top-of-the-line quality products made in America.
Tell folks about their low profile series.
Well, this is an important thing to have. This is untraceable. Anybody can get this kit right here. You don't have to go through a federal firearms license place. You can have it shipped right to your house.
This is what the traders have been trying to shut down.
Absolutely. So you basically have everything you need besides a lower receiver because that's what's traceable, that's what's serialized, and that's what the federal government's after. But you can get this right here. Get your own lower receiver any way you want. There's different programs. All you got to do is your own research, and you can find out how to get a lower receiver so that you can put it on this. Maybe you already have a lower receiver from an AR from way back that you just don't quite use anymore, it's old, something like that. You can throw it on this, you basically have a brand new rifle and you saved money by putting it together yourself and buying this kit right here, which is cheaper than the actual rifle.
And they've got the highest quality barrels, the highest quality triggers. We're not just saying that. Go look at the third-party reviews. Tell them about the new rifle they're producing that's getting amazing reviews. And then I just got one, this 308.
Yes, that is very...
Arcadius.
That's very exciting. They just came out with their own line of AR-10 platforms, which is basically an AR-15, but instead of it being a 5.56, it shoots a 308 round, which I know you personally like shooting a 308.
I like them both. I mean, just to be clear, they've always, for years, been making this for the big manufacturers, the high end. They're just now not private labeling. They're putting out their own guns.
Yes. Well, the one they sent you, I'm actually jealous of. It's a beautiful gun. It's set up and configured for long-range shooting, marksmanship type things.
Just the scope alone is something to snuggle with.
Yeah, it's a Vortex 4x16 scope, which you can get at Head Down as well, their distributor. And I think things for people to remember is that if you want a 308, you don't have to get the 18-inch barrel. You don't have to get the 22-inch barrel. You don't have to get it set up for marksmanship. You can get one with a 16-inch barrel that's set up for more of an assault weapon type, configuration. So anything you want, people just call Head Down. You can get anything you want made there, and any configuration you might want on your rifle. They're able to do that, and they have 100% perfect customer service ratings there.
Bottom line, it's not just firearms, a ton of accessories, very affordable, and it supports the InfoWar. If you're not shopping at hdfirearms.com, you're not helping the InfoWar. I mean, this is a win-win. Thank you all for your support. Check them out today. Thank you, Weldon.